So talking about non-active users now, so people that are sitting, your database is growing, but you know you've got a sizable cohort who are not engaging with your emails. And we talked about how even just the power of that brand name and the subject line appearing in your inbox being enough to do some good. Some people would say suppress those people, maybe ignore them. What's your view on what you should do with them? Should you try a sort of resubscribe or a re-engagement process with them, or maybe just leave them to one side?
Leave them to one side, no, because as I say, look what they overcame to get on your list, right? Look how long on average it takes people to come off. The final piece of it is that, and by the way, I do that for at least 2 years. And the reason is Google came out and they told you exactly what it takes to make an email address inactive. And it takes 2 years of zero interactive with Google, right? Not a search. You didn't use any Google app. You didn't use Android. You didn't use anything. That makes you inactive for 2 full years. Now, if you really think that the last time someone opened an email was the last thing they did on Google, it tells you you have a lot of leeway. So I would say for at least 2 years, mail them, right? Here, this is where you have to be sensible. I'm assuming you're starting with a clean database, and I'm assuming you don't have a current deliverability problem, right? And I'm assuming you don't do anything silly like importing a random name of email addresses that came from nowhere, or mailing someone you hadn't mailed for 5 years. Those things would be silly. But if you did things sensibly, I would continue to mail them, okay? Now, the second question becomes, what's active or define engagement? Now, if you say, visited my website, forget email, but added open click, purchase, visited my website, visited my store, right? Called my call center, whatever it is, didn't unsubscribe. Those are all reasons to continue mailing someone, right? And I would do that. So then the question becomes how many, right? Again, don't be stupid. Everyone says, well, if you bombard them, where did the word bombard? I didn't mention the word bombard at all. I just said send them email. Now, mostly for up to 2 years, most people will be in the pot of people that are in their general mailing list that gets somewhere between 1 and 3 emails a week, right? And they'll stay there for 6 months, maybe a year, maybe 2 years, right? A lot of people go 2 years, especially if CRM is their big thing, right? For people where they're not so, their open rates are more important to them, then they will tend towards 6 months, right? Because it makes open rates look better. But the question, well, if they do become engagement, should I re-engage them? And I would say every email you send is an opportunity to engage, and every email you don't send is an opportunity not to engage. Right? It's an opportunity to keep the status quo, right? So if you think about it that way, and then you go, okay, 10% open rate means that someone on average will open 1 email every 3 weeks and click 1 email every 3 months. You look at it in a completely different way. And you suddenly start going, oh, currently I get an open every 3 weeks. Let me try and make that 2. Or it's every 3.7 weeks and I want to make it 3.5 weeks. That's good because you're now making more people active, right? The same thing with clicks, and the same thing with opens, and the same thing with purchases. So you just look at it in a completely different way. So for all those people, so let's say someone was getting an active person, someone became inactive and they used to get 3 emails a week and you drop them down to 1, okay? You've removed 66% of the opportunities to see or opportunities to engage with your brand as a way of engaging them more.